Baseball doesn't exist. True. This
At
is
one point,
19
Jose
minutes.
Canseco was the best baseball player on the planet. He's also been the most hated player on the planet. He's had the biggest contract in baseball history, but was also blackballed by the entire league. He's introduced the game's biggest stars to steroids and then told on the game's biggest stars for doing steroids. He's been called a liar, a
Nice!
cheater, a drug addict, and a wife
Okay.
beater. He's fought a man
Oh,
who's
wow.
7 feet tall, and he's fought a man who's 5'6". He's been to prison, he's lived in a garage, he's been on reality TV shows, he's written 2 New York Times best-selling books, and has even claimed to have met aliens. Jose Canseco has done it all, and he's done
He
it
sounds
weirder
cool.
than anybody in baseball history. Shortly after
Well, I'm
Jose
invested.
Canseco was drafted in the 15th round of the 1982 MLB draft, he admits that he believed he had no chance of becoming a major league player. He played for 5 minor league teams in 2 years, never getting above single A, and his stats were pretty awful. Canseco's early professional career was so miserable, at one point his team made him be the bat boy. That's right, for an entire series of games, he didn't hit, he didn't field, he didn't do anything. He collected bats and balls, and was laughed at and made fun of by teammates
It's
and
an
coaches
important
while
position,
doing it.
though.
This was enough
Someone's gotta
pressure
do
for
it.
Canseco to literally quit baseball for about 20 minutes until a pitching coach on the team came up to him and talked him out of it. A conversation that saved Canseco's career and may have ruined the careers and legacies of cheaters across the league. Around that same time, Canseco's mother was sick in the hospital. Canseco was told to leave his team to go see his mother in Florida, but by the time he arrived, she had passed away. According to Canseco, this was the moment he decided that he would do whatever it took to become the best baseball player in the world in order to honor his mother, which meant doing a bunch of steroids. Usually doing a bunch of illegal drugs to honor your mother is a weird move, but in this case, it was actually pretty touching, and it worked better than Canseco ever expected. He gained 25 pounds of muscle that offseason, came back to baseball, and quickly became the Athletics' #1 prospect. He was so good, he even earned the nickname The Natural, even though he literally was the most unnatural player on the planet. It was 1985, and although there was no real way to prove it, Canseco is believed to probably be one of the very few, if not the only...
Wait, is that true? For $5,000, you can hunt Bigfoot with Jose Canseco? Canseco? I gotta look that up. Sorry to blue ball you. Are you fucking serious? Can I book one? That sounds like the best use of $5,000 ever. This was in 2019. Does he still offer it? Or did they finally catch Bigfoot and inject him with steroids? I don't see anything recent. Let me see. Booking. I have to contact his management company. Do you think... There can't be that many people paying $5,000 to hunt fucking Sasquatch with Jose Canseco. Do you think if we reached out, we could get him to come hunt the skunk ape instead? Someone's got to catch the skunk ape down here. I think Jose Canseco is the man for it. Thanks to the Prime Snake and the resub Cinesol. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this open. Reach out to management and see if we can set that up. It sounds great. Thanks to the resub, super awesome username. I'll be right back though. Give me 1 second. And then we'll watch more of this because it's kind of interesting though. Thanks for the gift sub, Raven. Alright, I'm back. Thanks to give sub Raven in the Prime Shadow.
Player doing steroids at the time, and this shows in his performance. By the time his rookie year was over, he had already hit a home run in every American League ballpark and won Rookie of the Year. He was a beast and he knew it. He told reporters before his third season he would be the first player in history to hit 40 home runs and steal 40 bases in a single season. Everybody called him an arrogant show-off, and then that season,
he did
the
it.
First player in history to hit 40 home runs and steal 40 bases. And then everybody just called him. McGwire won the same award, and together they formed the largest 1-2 punch in baseball history. They were the Bash Brothers. They were huge, they were famous, they hit bombs, and they even created their own handshake. They were also two of the most blatant steroid users in history. But they were the Bash Brothers, and they hit baseballs further than anyone. However, apparently the Bash Brothers weren't as close as the media portrayed them to be, and today McGwire considers Canseco his arch enemy. But they were close enough at the time for Mark to let his Bash brother Jose inject him with steroids in the team bathroom. Over 6 seasons, the two combined for 11 All-Star games, 2 Rookie of the Years, 4 Silver Sluggers, and a World Series championship. By the time he was 24, Canseco had already made baseball history by being the first player to achieve a 40-40 season. He had won a Rookie of the Year award, an MVP, a World Series, and in 1990, the Athletics gave him a 5-year, $23.5 million deal.
Not bad.
The biggest contract in baseball history up to that point. But Canseco's baseball ability was often overshadowed because during this time he was creating the legacy of Jose Canseco, which is why people still love Jose today. It has nothing to do with baseball, it has a lot more to do with doing a bunch of weird and questionable things. By the time he left Oakland in 1992, he had been arrested several times, once for going 140 miles per hour and leading cops on a 15-mile chase.
Wow!
Jose has since
Do they have
claimed
footage
that he
of
was
that?
also caught going 202 miles per hour, but cops let him go because according to him at the time, he was the most popular athlete in the world. He was also arrested for having a loaded handgun in his car while on a college campus. His secretary was also arrested for bringing a handgun on an airplane with Jose in 1989.
Okay.
Jose often carried a gun
Just
for
in case.
protection because he is an extremely paranoid person. He
probably
once
met him
refused
in
a
Tier
cup of
1
coffee at an
Mosin.
autograph session, saying, "You're not going to kill me that easy." He was banned from the Mexican Baseball League for testosterone and failed a court-ordered drug test from his probation officer, but he doesn't blame steroid use for these instances. He blames the MLB for conspiring to keep him out of the game. But it is a lot more likely that Jose's lifelong steroid use had a lot more to do with the failed drug test than the MLB did. Anyway, in 1992, he was arrested again for ramming his car into his wife's car during an argument at a gas station. This was the first time.
Well, maybe his wife was having an affair with Bigfoot. God damn. How deep does it go, I wonder?
Simple accidental fender bender. Some people blame angry situations like this on Jose's steroid use, but
before I forget, I have to know, is there footage of that police chase?
At one point,
that's gotta be fucking great. Jose Canseco going 140 on a goddamn police pursuit. Probably tossing baseballs and Bigfoot food out of the window or something, like bait. There's gotta be footage. No. But these chases look fucking intense. This wasn't even close. They didn't even give me like a Jose Canseco related video. They just gave me police chases and then a Grand Theft Auto cutscene over here, basically. Jesus Christ. Well, I'm gonna keep this open anyway because it looks kind of wild. Makes a tier 1 sprung in the resub all day tray and gives sub chocolate.
He maintains that this argument makes no sense at all, saying, quote unquote, "Are we to say that any individual who's on steroids that has an angry moment is due to steroids? What about the individual who gets angry and kills someone who's not on steroids? What do we blame it on now?" So, according to Canseco, he didn't hit his wife with his car because of steroids. He did it because he was pissed off at her, so you really can't blame steroids. I guess you have to blame him. You also can't blame steroids for the time his 20-pound tortoise worth $25,000 escaped his backyard into traffic, forcing a sheriff to save its life in 1991. This is just one instance of one of Jose's strange pets
tortoise.
causing a weird fiasco. Recently, Jose had his girlfriend paint his tortoise, which apparently is a very good way to suffocate a tortoise. Jose got a lot of backlash for this one. We hope the tortoise is okay. He was also pulled over with goats in the back of his car in 2013.
So he's like Dan Bilzerian, but less rich.
But luckily, the goats were wearing diapers. Instances like this have always been part of Jose Canseco's story because although he was traded to Texas, his talent shined very bright on the field as well. During this play, he headbutted a baseball over the wall for a home run. A few days later, the Harrisburg Heat, a professional soccer team from Pennsylvania, offered Canseco a contract, but
that had to hurt
declined.
like shit.
This may be the most memorable moment of Jose Canseco's time in Texas and perhaps his entire playing career, but there were a lot of significant
that single-handedly
that
gave him an encephalon injury.
Probably the one with the most impact was teaching Ivan Rodriguez, Rafael Palmeiro, and Juan Gonzalez how to do steroids, which he did in the Texas Rangers bathroom. Jose was also asked to pitch for one inning in a blowout loss against the Boston Red Sox. He gave up 2 hits, 3 walks, 3 runs, and injured his elbow, which he had to get season-ending surgery on. This occurred only 3 days after Canseco was hit in the head for a home run, and is a microcosm of Jose Canseco's entire career. Because although Canseco has done a lot of amazing things on the baseball field, unfortunately for him, his embarrassing moments are a lot more interesting. Canseco would go on to play on 6 teams in his last 7 years. He was frequently injured, and many saw Jose's later years as a major disappointment and blamed his injuries on his obvious and intense steroid use. But Canseco's final years were not as bad as some remember. He hit 46 home runs in 1998, won a Silver Slugger, made the All-Star team in 1999, and throughout Jose's entire 17-year career, he never once batted below league average in OPS. During his final years, he was also arrested for hitting his wife, but again, please do not blame this on steroids. Jose says he is not a wife beater and only pulled her hair while they were arguing in a friend's car. His wife wrote an entire book about their crazy relationship. Jose has accused her of hooking up with Alex Rodriguez and even says he almost killed himself when he found out she was spending time with tight end Tony Gonzalez. As depressing as this was for Jose, it may not have affected him as much as the end of his career did in 2001. After a short year in Chicago where Jose played around league average, no teams in baseball wanted him. According to him, he was willing to play for league minimum and donate his earnings to charity, but all 30 teams said no. He would even go on to try out for the Los Angeles Dodgers, but Tommy Lasorda said Canseco seemed a little bit out of shape. He responded by calling Lasorda a chubby little fat troll who is the worst Humpty Dumpty pasta-eating moron I've ever seen.
Yeah,
so yeah,
that
Jose
sounds
was not
reasonable.
taking retirement very well.
Get
Canseco
blasted,
believed that he was
nerd.
being blackballed by MLB.
He learned that on
they
League
knew
of
that
Legends.
He had such a huge influence on steroid use across the league. But in 2001, Canseco ran into bigger problems stemming from a brawl that he got into in a Miami nightclub. Jose and his twin brother Ozzy, both dressed up as vampires for Halloween, got into a fight, and since Jose is a black belt in Taekwondo, Kung Fu, and according to him, extremely dangerous with nunchucks, he won the fight pretty badly. Unfortunately, the court saw this as aggravated battery and sentenced him to probation. He violated probation and was sentenced to 2 years of house arrest. During this time, Jose began making money by allowing fans to bid for a chance to spend the day with him at his house while he was on house arrest. Potential activities
That's so
included hanging out
good.
by the pool, martial arts lessons, grilling steaks, and taking batting practice. A diehard
Hey, I'm
fan
under
won
house
this
arrest. Come
contest
pay to hang
for
out with me.
$2,500. Canseco would later fail a drug test for steroids and spend a month in jail. Jose blamed this on MLB, saying he had no proof but believed they switched his urine samples to make sure he went to jail so he couldn't play again. When he was released from jail, things got even worse. The people who sent him to jail in the first place were suing him and his brother for beating them up at the nightclub while dressed up as vampires. Jose was going through his second divorce, was on house arrest, was being sued, had huge amounts of lawyer fees, no endorsements, and no major league offers. He had made over $45 million playing baseball, but a lot of that money was going fast, and many people believe this is the reason Jose wrote the notorious book Juiced. Jose Canseco is a New York Times best-selling author. Although
Everyone's
he
a New
didn't
York
actually
Times
write the
best-selling
book by
author.
himself, it
Every
might
book
be
is.
the most impactful book in sports history. Canseco obviously needed money and admittedly wanted to do anything he could to destroy Major League Baseball, so he wrote an entire book basically exposing anybody in baseball that he could, and it was wild. He exposed people for using steroids, cheating on their wives, and even acknowledged what happened to his junk when he went on the juice.
No!
He claimed Madonna wanted to have a baby with him, but she wasn't attractive enough. He claimed that he regularly
Could be
beat
true, I guess.
Ricky Henderson in races and ran a 3.9 40-yard dash. He claimed to be the godfather of steroids, said he couldn't live without steroids, and claimed that at the peak of steroids, 85% of MLB players were using them. He admitted to injecting Ivan Rodriguez, Juan Gonzalez, and Rafael Palmeiro with steroids in Texas. He said he taught Miguel Tejado how to use steroids in Oakland. He claimed to have inspired Barry Bonds to do steroids after beating him in a home run contest. He said Jason Giambi was one of steroids' worst abusers, claimed he had no proof but could tell Sammy Sosa was on steroids. He not only said that he injected Mark McGwire with steroids, he also added that McGwire was awkward and couldn't get girls, ran an old lady off the road while racing his car, and called reporters homophobic slurs. Canseco instantly became baseball's #1 enemy, and the public immediately dubbed him a jealous, money-hungry liar. Which kind of makes sense because he did say some ridiculous things like being faster than Ricky Henderson, running a 3.9 40, and claiming Roger Clemens.
Sorry to pause again. There's something that I need to queue up just in case. Is there footage of Jose Canseco fighting? Oh, yes. How deep does the Jose Canseco lore go?
Clemens never cheated on his wife, but when it came to steroids, Canseco told the truth. However, pretty much every person in baseball publicly bashed him and called him a liar for it. Except for Congress, who called in Canseco and several of the players he accused in the book to question them on their use of steroids and MLB's lack of effort to stop them. It became pretty clear pretty quickly that Canseco was actually the only one telling the truth. In the 1990s, Canseco's basically introduced the entire league to steroids, and now was doing everything he could to get them out, in front of Congress as the entire world watched. Jose publicly stated
not the
that he
whole world,
regretted
I didn't
ever
watch
writing
it.
Juice, but went on to release another book called Vindicated in 2008. Canseco reportedly threatened to expose Maglio Ordonez in the book if he didn't invest in his movie. The MLB reported this to the FBI. When the book came out, Jose claimed he injected Ordonez with steroids and said he introduced A-Rod to a steroid dealer in Canada. And although both of these books were both New York Times bestsellers, Canseco was still broke. He tried selling his World Series ring, went on the reality TV show Surreal Life, had to foreclose on his home, filmed himself breaking into his own home, and this basically started a long stretch of Canseco doing a lot of
that gate
for publicity
collapsed
and then
instantly.
trying to make money off them. A stretch that has never really truly ended. Despite being old, having blood contaminated with years of steroid use, and hated by a large portion of baseball, Canseco has never really truly given up on his big league dreams. In 2006, he signed with the San Diego Surf Dogs to attempt a major league comeback as a knuckleball pitcher and a designated hitter.
He's like 80 years old
then. After one game with the Surf Dogs. He was sent to a team in Long Beach, batted 176, left the team before the season ended, and was sued by the league and forced to pay $250,000. He returned to baseball in 2010 at 46 years old, signing to be a bench coach and designated hitter, hoping it would be the start of a journey to become an MLB coach. TMZ also reported that Canseco was living in a friend's garage during this time. The next year he would play and coach again in the North American League with his brother Ozzy, and attempted to get a reality TV show to film it. In 2012, he was supposed to play in the Mexican League, but was banned for taking testosterone. Canseco believed that this was because the MLB was trying to keep him out of the league again. He later signed with the Worcester Tornadoes, played in 20 games, then sued the owner for breach of contract, defamation, unjust enrichment, failure to pay wages, and misrepresentation. Jose would go on to play short stints in independent leagues every year until 2018, when he was 53 years old. He's also participated in basically every local home run derby that's occurred in the past 10 years. However, Canseco's true athletic calling in recent years hasn't been baseball. It's been MMA and boxing. His boxing career began in 2008 when he fought Vi Sikahema. He is a local TV news reporter and former NFL player. Canseco was 7 inches taller and weighed 40 more pounds, but Sikahema was an amateur boxer growing up.
God, there's so much to this, and the chat keeps filling me with new details. He recently fought an intern at Barstool Sports and took a dive just to get money for the fight because he was broke. What the fuck? To be honest, I was thinking about that the other day. Like, I was pretty disappointed when Ben Askren got fucking blasted by Jake Paul, and it was pretty clear like he didn't care, he just wanted to get out quickly. I was thinking like that. Like, if I got challenged to a fight with one of the Paul brothers, I'd probably just take the check and take a dive instantly. Like, I'd just, like, fall right on the mat and just call it a day. It's like, that's speed running a fat check for doing nothing. Like, now I have nothing against Ben Askren for it now, the more I think about it. So if Jose Canseco pulled a Ben Askren, good for him. Dude's 90 years old. Contaminated with steroids and hunting Bigfoot. Thanks to the resub Scrub and Defarious.
Up and Jose.
He does porn? What, you waited that long to tell me? This isn't on screen, right? No, we're good. Oh! Jose Canseco's got his own category on Pornhub. Well, at least, well, maybe it's not there anymore since they, like, purged every video. Jose Canseco nude leaked pics. I don't really trust those sites. Jose Canseco sexy and topless 21 photos from the Fappening. Was Jose Canseco's nudes leaked in the Fappening with Jennifer Lawrence and all that? I don't remember that being a big deal. Oh, I also just noticed. This isn't Jose, this is Josie. That might not be the same thing. That might just be a porn star who has a name close to it. No, this one is definitely Jose Canseco. Thanks, there's some Yukon, Frankie, and the Prime Phoenix. That's his daughter? Josie Canseco is his daughter? This fucking Jose Canseco rabbit hole it goes deep.
Jose wasn't able to use his Kung Fu or nunchucks, so he was knocked out in the first round. In 2009, Jose Canseco went on a fighting tear, first against former child actor and celebrity Danny Bonaducci. The fight was in Philadelphia. Vince Papale was the referee, and Canseco walked in with
Vince
a bunch of fake
Papale?
tattoos. Bonaducci is only 5'6",
and he
but the
wore
fight
fake
ended in a
tattoos?
draw,
Why?
although some say Canseco let him tie, although most people say who really cares. Canseco then decided to put his black belts in Taekwondo,
Why would he
Kung
wear
Fu,
fake
and Muay Thai
tattoos?
to use by challenging
Like the
Hong
sponge
Man Choi,
ones?
who was a 7'2", 350-pound professional kickboxer. Jose had no chance, but I guess he really needed the money, so he volunteered to get pummeled by one of the scariest people ever. The fight lasted 1 minute and sent to the ring to fight Todd the Punisher Polton, who was basically just a random guy from Massachusetts who's known for fighting a few celebrity boxing matches and
Let's go,
having an insane
Todd!
face tattoo.
Fuck
Polton
yeah, Todd!
was 5'10" and brought the entire 500-person crowd to support him, but Canseco won this fight by decision. The
Damn.
next year, Jose fought Gary
beat
Hogan
Todd?
in
He's
Little Rock,
unbeatable.
Arkansas before an Arkansas Travelers AAA baseball game. Gary Hogan was a 60-year-old man and an ex-baseball coach. He only weighed 191 pounds, but the fight ended in a draw. Again, it seems pretty clear.
He just
Jose
fought
went
some
easy on the man.
spectator at the
2011,
fucking match.
Canseco was scheduled to fight Billy Patton.
Which one of you is the oldest one here?
Florida. But when he took
Alright,
his
get your old
shirt
ass
off
in the
and was
ring. We're gonna
preparing to
fight.
enter the ring, they realized it wasn't Jose. He had sent his twin brother as a doppelganger to fight for him. Although this seems like something out of a movie,
What?
it really wasn't that abnormal for Jose, who is known for sending his brother to do autograph signings for him. The fighting promoter Damon Feldon sued
Thanks to
Jose
Tier 1
for
Bug.
$6,500.
5 gift subs, Myzik.
However,
Thank
the
you,
two would
Myzik.
team up for another fight in 2016
Appreciate
when
it.
Jose was scheduled to fight Lindsay Lohan's dad, but that never happened.
Lindsay
Jose was supposed to fight
Lohan's
Lenny Dykstra in
dad?
2011, but Lenny pulled out the last minute and
Who's
was
next?
replaced by the
Macaulay
guy who crashed
Culkin's
the White House
butler?
dinner party.
From
Jose
20
won
years
that fight
ago?
after a bunch of women jumped into the ring and forced the referee to stop the match. Jose has since challenged Logan Paul, Jake Paul, Alex Rodriguez, and Shaq to fights. Shaq has said multiple times that he's willing to fight Jose anytime, anywhere, but that seems like it will never happen. Jose is currently scheduled to fight Barstool Sports employee Billy Football on February 21st, and we wish Jose the best of
I'm
luck.
excited to
Believe it or
watch
not,
that
fighting
now.
is actually one of the more normal ways Canseco has earned himself
Thanks to
money
Resub
and
Logan.
attention since retirement. He went on the
Just put
Celebrity
it in the chat,
Apprentice in
P-Ducks.
2011,
Don't donate to
left the show
suggest
early
things,
because
just
of
put
the
it in the
death
chat.
of his dad, but did get $25,000 for his charity. Jose has also offered fans the opportunity to go Bigfoot and alien hunting with him
let's do
for
it.
only $5,000. And this actually may be a pretty good deal because Jose does seem to have some insight on aliens. He's claimed that they are on Earth trying to communicate with us the secret.
Aliens have been trying to teach us how to time travel, but first we have to change our body composition, which we are not willing to do. We have tried with animals and it has failed. Well, if anyone was close enough to changing their body composition to be on a time travel wavelength with aliens, it's probably Jose Canseco. His body is composed of like 10% water, 5% blood, and 85% steroids. So he's probably like knocking on the door, like on the cusp. I would imagine. I mean, I can't speak for the aliens and their technology, but you know.
Method to time travel, and that he's met an alien himself. Jose has also previously claimed that he was going to sell his finger on eBay for cash. This was a lie, but Jose did accidentally shoot off his finger in 2014 while cleaning one of his guns in his kitchen. Unfortunately, it was never put on sale. All of this went down on Jose's Twitter account, which is notoriously known for being one of the best in the business. He may have the wildest Twitter account that has yet to be banned. At one point, he proposed to his girlfriend on Twitter. She ignored him, so he called her a quote-unquote egotistical and easy lay. He posted
What? This is fucking wild. He proposed to his girlfriend through Twitter, got left on red, and then immediately just went on like the Reddit nice guy shit. You bitch. How dare you? Wow.
posted her phone number, and her mother would later file a restraining order against Jose. Jose would go on to offer speed dating opportunities for his female followers as long as they sent him an email with a picture and bio. Jose has also used Twitter to start a campaign to get the Mets to sign him, but at the time it seemed pretty clear that the MLB wanted nothing to do with Jose. However, in 2014, the Athletics were the first team to give Jose a chance, letting him back into the ballpark for a 1989 World Series reunion ceremony. Mark McGwire refused to show up because Canseco was there, but Jose apologized to McGwire anyway, and things worked out for Canseco. He was hired to be part of the Oakland broadcast team in 2017, but was asked not to return the next season after a series of tweets about sexual assault. And that's basically...
What? Wow. I see the difference, I guess, because I was a good-looking guy and these politicians look like a bag of boogers. It's like something I'd hear as an insult in Codename Kids Next Door. This... wow.
Where Canseco stands today. He hasn't played a Major League Baseball game in 20 years, but somehow he's always stayed somewhat relevant. Whether he's testifying in front of Congress, hunting aliens, or boxing celebrities, he's always doing something, and it's usually something pretty strange. And that's what makes Jose Canseco an American hero.
Yeah, I mean...
Nobody cares about you either, fat You got no balls, that's what you don't say to my face.
This is crazy.
Human feces.
That was a lot more interesting than I thought it would be. This is the second baseball player that has the craziest fucking lore. What was the other guy's name? Paul Hamburger or something super American? What was it? The guy we watched last time? Thanks to the Prime Banjo and Resub Wilson. And the fat old Tier 3 Banjo, Jesus. Well, thank you for that. Linny Dijkstra. Type it again, what the fuck was his name? Lenny Dijkstra. Yeah. Lenny. He had a crazy history too. Man, maybe there really is some like fucking gold mines in sports. Alright, let's watch Jose Canseco fight. We'll do this one. Alright, 0-1, but I'm sure he gets it going here. What about when he fought some baseball fan's dad? Is there any audio? No audio. That's his twin. Oh, right. He had his twin step in for this fight. Yeah, we just learned that. Oh, I don't want to see his twin fight. That's not interesting. Oh, this is when he fought Todd the Punisher. Let's go, Jose! No one's ever fought Todd and lived to tell the tale. Yeah, we'll do the Barstool one next. See how he fared against the intern. Let's go, Todd! There's a gift sub shadow. Has Todd ever fought before? Ever? Even, like, by accident one time? This isn't looking good. Thanks to Prime Maxwell. Let's go, Todd! This is where we make our comeback. He's going for the Rhino charge. Come on, Todd! Ugh. Todd's just toying with him before he ends it all. He's about to put this match to bed. Thanks for the gift sub, Brad. Maybe in a minute, JK. Ugh. Boo is right. Not very good. And we already know Jose wins that fight. How about the Barstool guy? You got TKO'd by Barstool Sports intern Billy Football. 46 minutes. Don't want to watch 46 minutes of it. How about from this channel, Fittest Gamers? Okay. That's the DMCA waiting to happen. Damn, Billy Football's feeling it. Oh, is that the whole fight? So he really did just take a full-on dive, huh? That's a shame. Well, hey, easy money for Jose Canseco, I guess. All the 90s juicer baseball players got into crazy antics. Canseco, Bonds, Sosa, Bagwell, Ivan, and Clemens. I'm going to try and remember those names. I think only one baseball player per Just Chatting night, I would say. Because now Linny and Jose